Welcome to Track Talk and our very special preview of the big races coming up in Singapore on Sunday evening, the KrisFlyer International Sprint and the Singapore Airlines International Cup. It is our biggest weekend of racing and we've got two great races at International Group 1 level. Matt Jones and Andrew Frost joining me to take a look at the two big races. Frosty, the big news of the week's been the scratching and the withdrawal of Rocketman from the KrisFlyer, but it's still a great race.
It is, and it's made it a very open race now, the sprint. And I think it's going to be a great race. So we've got a couple of horses from overseas. We've got KRYPTON Factor, also Secret Asset, Invincible Ash. So they do create plenty of interest. And I think KRYPTON Factor, the international rider, he's coming here in great form. He was able to beat Rocketman in Dubai. He deserves a lot of respect, but he's got to come here to Singapore. And I think with the scratching of Rocketman now, it has opened the race up. I do think the local horses have a very good chance. They've got that home ground advantage. I'm giving some of the locals a very good chance. And I think it'll be very mixed opinions about who's going to win the race.
It's a wide open sprint and a wide open cup as well. Matt, in the past we've had a standout generally in the International Cup. We've sort of all agreed on one, but this year very, very difficult.
Yeah, I think we're just doing the form time and time again. We're not really coming up with anything definitive. It may just come down to luck, pace in the race, and also luck in the barrier draw. And some horses that had the luck at the barrier draw, horses like Zazu, Zidane, California Memory, drew okay in gate number 6, and some local horses as well. I think Waikato drew okay middle of the line, but probably the big winner of the locals was the little horse Flax, who drew gate number 1. So I think tempo is going to be a big part of it. We saw last year California Memory had to go forward and lead. Don't think he'll be leading this year, but it doesn't look on paper to be a lot of pace in the race.
Well, we've had some rain during the week. Let's have a look at the forecast for Sunday afternoon at the Singapore race course. We're racing on the short course A, and we've got showers with thunder. We've been having morning showers so far this week, so hopefully it does clear up. But a top of 31 degrees on Sunday afternoon, short course A for our two races, the sprint over the 1200 and of course the big one, the cup over the 2000 metres. Let's take a look at the race card for the first of our feature races, the KrisFlyer International Sprint. KRYPTON Factor up the top. Now Atto will have the blinkers coming off. So the blinkers are off Atto. Only a field of 9. Very competitive race here, and they are racing for $1 million in International Group 1, a leg of the Global Sprint Challenge. KRYPTON Factor, he comes here clearly with the best form, Andrew, but that form has been on the Tapeta in Dubai.
Yeah, he has won before on the turf, but he needs to bring that Group 1 form to the turf, which might be the question mark with him. I must admit, for a sprinter, I'm surprised how relaxed he is on the track. He's just cantering along there on the turf track on a nice long rein. Most of the sprinters usually travel like these two horses did in their work. We've got Mr. Big on the rails, working strongly, and Better Be the One on the outside. He's really travelling strongly in this gallop. Both horses have worked beautifully. Both horses trained by Michael Friedman. I think they're up for running a big race. Yeah, and
Mr. Big had the favours at the barrier draw with gate 2, but not so Better Be the One. He drew gate number 9, so a bit of a negative there.
Yeah, he's going to have to come from the outside draw, and a horse who's really burnt up the track during the week was Yin Zing, and he's clocked 34 seconds for his 600-metre gallop. He's going to jump from barrier number 7, and he looks like he's one of the leaders. Very fast horse is Yin Zing, and he's looked in great order on the train track.
The thing about Yin Sin, Frost, is there's a couple of horses who are still rising through the ranks, Mr. Big and Yin Sin, who I think have got scope for improvement, and they could just cause a surprise here for the locals.
Yeah, Yin Zing I thought was the interesting runner. He's only had the one start on the turf. He finished second on that occasion. You'd probably be more confident if the race was on the poly track, but he's got a lot of speed and he's definitely an interesting runner.
It's only a small field of 9, but barrier draw still important for a race like the KrisFlyer. Shortly after the barrier draw on Thursday morning, Matt caught up with some of the connections of horses.
Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. She comes from off the pace, so I didn't want to be too wide or didn't want to be stuck down the inside. She preferred faster the better. Good or faster ground would suit her, you know. We'd be hoping to dry out for her.
Yeah, I was very happy with the draw. You know, he's come back from Dubai and he had to have a bit of a break in the quarantine, and it probably just freshened him up a bit. And we've coming into the race with his 2 trials under his belt. He trialled very well, I thought, 10 days ago. I was very happy with that trial and pulled up well, and we've trialled him again on Tuesday. Just gave him a nice easy trial, and he finished up winning that trial, and he's come back home, and I'm very happy with his progress.
He's won a lot of races in Singapore up on the pace, but in the trial the other day he was ridden back. Is that something you'll consider on the day?
Well, we thought Rocketman was running, and there's 2 or 3 other horses got a lot of pace, and we thought, well, it's very hard to be taking those sort of horses on and expect him to keep going. So we elected to sort of ride him a little bit quiet, and I was very happy with the way he finished the trial off.
Yeah, we're lucky, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, Atto, as we all know, the last 3 runs possibly hasn't shown the form that he's shown previously in his racing career. He is becoming very coltish, that's very obvious. And we'll see how he goes this week before we decide what happens after that. But he's working well. He's trialled he's put up 2 very good trials, as you've known. We've got a good draw. Again, we're in there with a chance.
Well, Atto's on notice, fellas. He needs to perform here this weekend. Where's the speed, Frost? Who do you have leading this race, or is it too difficult to work out?
No, I didn't think it was too difficult. I thought the Cup was more difficult, but I thought Mr. Big will probably look for the lead from the inside. But you got Yinzing drawn out in barrier number 7 now. He probably doesn't want to be caught out wide, so I think he's got to come across, and if he's going a little bit faster than Mr. Big into that first turn, I thought Yinzing would probably lead. In last year's
KrisFlyer, Frost, we saw Better Be the One pouring on the pressure. He's drawn gate number 9. What are we going to get from that horse this year?
I thought he'd probably come across with Yinzing. I don't think he'll go mad in the lead like he did last year, because in the end he did go too hard and he weakened out of it. So I think they'll be a bit conservative with him. The
thing about last year, he led, but he had a superstar on his back. This time he might not have a superstar. He may. We don't know. We'll find out on Sunday. Let's have a look at some of the past runs, and let's go back to the Dubai Golden Shaheen. 5 of the 9 runners have raced in Dubai this carnival, including 2 local horses. But this is KRYPTON Factor. He did enjoy the fact that they went super hard in the lead, I think.
Yeah, no, I think they probably might elect to do the same again. But he has led in the past, so he's proven that he's a little bit versatile. He's got speed drawn inside out him with the shape of Better Be One on his outside and Yinzing inside him.
Well, he's done one thing that most of the field have not done before, and that's beat Rocket Man. And he's done it 1 from 1.
This is Secret Asset. We go back a little while to this win back in July of last year, but his form's pretty good. He's drawn the inside, but just talking to the trainer, he probably won't have the speed to go with him, so whether he gets shuffled back on the rails, it might be a little concern.
Yeah, probably be one of the back markers running, but he did find the line in this race in the UK, so he's up to it if he's at his best.
Invincible Ash, and we're having a look at this run now, and some of its form was very, very good. Over a short trip, this was a remarkable run.
Heard Michael Halford say he's looking for more firm ground, so if he gets a wet track and he gets a long way back, it might be tough for this horse, but this was a great run, as you say, in the maiden sprint, going back to March. So we've got Secret Asset and Invincible Ash horses who both like to come off the pace, so it does look as though a local's probably going to lead them up here. And as we know, that's probably the place you want to be at, Cranji.
Let's have a look at Better Be the One. As you mentioned, last year he led them up, he took on the front, and he didn't have a lot to answer, but since then his form's been excellent. He didn't run a place in Dubai, but still, creditable run.
Yeah, I think if you take out his Dubai performance domestically, he's been very strong. On this occasion he carried the top weight. He only had an apprentice rider on, but some of his runs were good, and his latest run, since he's come back from Dubai, was second in the Lion City Cup.
One of his best runs, I think, and probably the closest he's ever got to Rocket Man.
Now, Captain Obvious is the next he trialled during the week. Went enormous, I thought, at the barrier trials. Went really well up against Gingerbread Man. His form in Singapore has been very consistent.
Well, I think I'm right in saying he's the 2nd highest rated horse in Singapore, behind Rocket Man. With that in mind, this could be his chance to really shine and pick up a big international Group 1.
He's a very tough horse too, very seasoned, done a fair bit of travelling, so if it's going to really come down to a fight in the end, I think he's going to be in it for a very long way.
And we've seen him run 1400 metres, okay, so the 1200 metres he'll be strong at the end. He's a horse who won twice in Dubai, and as I say, he's the highest rated horse we've got from Singapore participating in this race.
Now let's have a look at the next one here, which is Atto. He's had 3 runs with the blinkers. We probably assumed when the blinkers went on he'd be able to get that elusive victory, but it hasn't come.
No, it hasn't, and he's been there to strike. He's still racing well, but he just needs to find an extra length or two, and just at the moment he's just been a little bit vulnerable late in his races.
And Craig, his recent trial was excellent. He was really given a solid push by Vorster.
Yeah, he went 59.4. They don't go much quicker than that, so he's flying. But about this guy, this is a Cranji sprint, so one of our best domestic sprints here in Singapore. Very tough little horse, only a 3-year-old, but I think he's going to run a big race.
Got a lovely run on this occasion at handicap conditions. and he just may get that again here on Sunday from the inside draw. One thing about him, he's got a terrific will to win. Addo, that looked like he was going to get him, but he fought back and beat him fair and square.
So that's the lineup for the KrisFlyer International Sprint. We've shown a lot of replays there. Time for selections, I think.
Just quickly, there's one replay we didn't show, and for good reason as well. But the Elquas, we should just make mention, and I've made mention of this before, but there's 3 horses that actually met in the Elquas in Dubai, and they were Secret Asset, who ran 8th, Invincible Ash ran 7th, and Better Be The One ran 9th. So 7th, 8th, 9th, there was only about this much between the 3 of them. So if we are giving Better Be The One a big hope as a local hope, keeping in mind that these 2 international horses finished very, very close. In fact, they beat him past the post in the Elquas in Dubai.
Good point. As we have a look at these selections, I'm going to go for a bit of a roughie here in Mr. Big, the youngster from Addo, KRYPTON Factor, and Better Be The One.
Yeah, I thought the run by Better Be The One to finish second behind Rocket Man, the Lion City Cup, was very good. So I was happy to go with Better Be The One on top, despite his awkward draw. Got a lot of respect for KRYPTON Factor. Yinzing to be up there on the pace and run a big race for Theo Kieser, and Addo to run another nice race, getting in for 4th.
KRYPTON Factor to win from Captain Obvious, and Better Be The One, and Yinzing for 4th.
There's our thoughts on the 2012 KrisFlyer International. We'll take a quick break. Back with the Cup very soon.